real vision and the ambition, I should say, ambition of the business has to come from the entrepreneur, the promoter, or the CEO. And you can't look to the rest of, you can't look to your board, you can't look to your advisors, you can't look to your employees for that. If you look at most organizations around the world, it's either the CEO or the promoter, entrepreneur who is driving the ambition of the organization. And be very clear about that ambition and communicate with everybody around you about that. You can't communicate enough with everyone around you. Sell your story to everybody. I think you highlighted that point. And others will come to help you, actually, if they know what your ambition is. Then it comes to actually having the right people around you and the capability to execute and make the decision. So when you hire people, it's not actually just hiring people to give them a certain amount of responsibility. And I've seen this in India in particular fail more than anywhere else in the world, is that people hire professionals, entrepreneurs hire professionals, but they don't empower them. They hire them and say that, I expect you to do X, Y, Z. You know, so this is your responsibility, and I expect results. But you know what? I will make all the decisions. You have to come to me, or anybody else you go to in the organization. I know, or I've already told them that before you do something for them, come to me first. Okay? It's like raising a child, right? I assume many of you here are parents. I'm a parent of 3. So it's, if you watch Simpsons, the TV show, and it's actually an adult show. And the reason why it's an adult show is because I think most adults relate to how Bart Simpson protests with his parents, particularly his father. And the reason why it relates to adults is because they know what that child is feeling, okay? That there's actually an element of expressing yourself against the authoritarian rule of the father or the parent, okay? And organizations are the same, especially small businesses, which are like a child for you. So it is hard to let your child do what they want to do. It's hard to let your child grow up. It's hard to let them make decisions. You want them to do engineering, medicine, go to IIT. You want to, you know, have the whole chart planned out for them rather than them make any decisions for themselves. It's very true in our culture. It's deep-rooted in our culture. It translates absolutely into how we run businesses as well. And people may say, my business is different, my industry is different. I've seen it all, I've heard it all. I've invested across every industry you could imagine. There's no difference. It's actually to do with you. So I would say if you're going to hire people to really build an organization, then make sure you're ready to empower them. Because unless you empower them, you'll end up worrying about, oh my God, I'm paying the person so much. My monthly salary bill has gone up 10x. I've never paid myself so much. Nobody else in my organization has ever made so much. And in 6 months, the professional people will get frustrated. They'll leave. You would have run into losses because the costs have gone up. Essentially, you would fail at it. So this is a failure which you can avoid. Okay, so don't walk into it. So that's, I would say, a key element more than anything else when you're going through this transition phase of building an organization and you realize that you yourself don't have the capability to do it on your own and you need others around you at the top or below you. You need to empower them. You need to give them authority. You need to allow them to make mistakes just the way you have made mistakes, just the way you have built up the business through trial and error. They're called professionals, but they're also humans, right? Human error, human judgment can be wrong. So, but they have capability. They will help you avoid it, the big mistakes at least. So I think that's a very, very key factor. Then I think the rest of it is obviously, I think being customer centric is critical, making sure that you continue to solve a problem rather than, just chasing growth and becoming irrelevant. So I think these are the key factors, I would say. More than anything else, the rest will just flow. I mean, I'm in the business of providing capital, but I think if you address those factors, I think the rest will flow easily.